Hey, let's talk about the city of Seattle because on average, 1 in 5 Washingtonians actually live in Seattle city limits. And that's roughly 21% of Washington's population actually lives inside of Seattle. That's 731,000 people roughly. So let's jump in, and I appreciate you for joining me. This one's a little more informal because there's so much that I'm going to be covering inside of Seattle review. And again, this is not a channel where I give you the 5 best things to do inside Seattle or anything like that, because when you're walking around and you're talking to Seattleites out in the world, out in Denver or out in New York or something like that, and they say, hey, I'm from Seattle, more than likely they're from one of these little areas that I cover in my video. Because again, Seattle is such a big concentrated area of people. And there's such a gravity in there. And again, this little spot right here, that's the Seattle city limits, and 20% of the people actually live there. So let's get into this right now. Greater Seattle, also known as the Seattle Metropolitan, is from Everett all the way down to Tacoma. And that's what we call Greater Seattle area. That's also the Puget Sound inlet right here. That's what we call Puget Sound, obviously. But let's get into the homes because I did an available homes being sold inside of Seattle, and there was almost 1,500 homes available for purchase. Now, they vary quite a bit. I didn't want to get into that because my document that I'm already going over is 1,817 lines. So let's get into it right now. So Seattle sold. Let's just jump into sold. July this year versus July last year. July last year, there was 918 homes sold inside of Seattle, Washington directly. And again, like I said, this is a really big document, so it takes me a while to actually scroll down. But there was 918 homes sold, and on average, they came out to $596 a square foot. Now, this is everything from a beginner condo all the way up to a $12.5 million estate. So again, the sizes do vary, but we came out with a price per square foot of roughly $596 a square foot. And when you get into your individual zip codes or markets that I actually cover sometimes, you're going to see that they do vary a lot. But I want to give you a general overview of the Seattle city market total. And what we came out to on that was about a 13 days on market, 2.5 bedroom, 2 bath, and 1,767 square feet. Now let's compare it to this year. This year, July, there were 771 homes that were actually sold inside of Seattle city limits for the month of July. That also means that we had a decrease of 16% in homes sold this year versus last year. Now, there's a lot contributing to that, and it did affect our price per square foot at $575 a square foot. Now, when I compare all the numbers together, I want to give you an aggregate discount of what equity is also going through right now, because the equity did go down about $36,000 on average, and that brought our our homes on average from being sold last year at $1,038,000 to just over $1 million. Now let's get into the mortgage side of that, because that's more important to people. Because when I say to someone, hey, your home's going to be $1 million, they don't know how much that costs. Well, let's get into that right now. Just the principal and the interest alone is $67.55 a month. So $6,755 a month. That's the interest and the principal only. That's what we call a PITI. I'll get into that again, and I've covered that in my videos before. But a payment in interest is only part of the total mortgage. You also have to pay your taxes, you have to pay your insurance, and you have to pay your HOAs or any special assessments. Now, they vary a lot inside of the Seattle area. I live in Queen Anne, and they vary all the way up to $680 a month. For your HOAs. Now let's get into the actual rent versus buy right now. If you were to rent this 2.5 bedroom house, with 2 baths in it, you would roughly be renting a house that's about 1,742 square feet. And what that would come out to is $2.73 per month per square foot to actually rent that house. And that's how that breaks out. But and that would be roughly $4,700. But if we were to mortgage payment that, again, like I said, just the principal and the interest alone is $6,700. So that means it's a 142% more to actually buy that house inside of Seattle than it is to rent it. And I haven't even gotten into lately, our price demographics, because it's really expensive to buy a house for $6,700 a month when you have to understand that this is your post-tax income, because that's $85,000 a year post-tax that supports your mortgage alone. So you're going to be needing to be making, as a household, about $240,000 to $280,000 a year just to actually support that payment. And it's very expensive, and it's something that I haven't gotten into in a while, but the demographic wise, it doesn't support it across the board. And this is one reason why we're also seeing home sales decreasing. And it's because the cost of the mortgage is too high, as well as the cost of the housing. And again, I'm a real estate agent. I'm not a data analysis guy or anything like that, but I want to give you a general rundown of what it actually costs to buy these houses and what it actually takes to make it on a monthly mortgage, because it's very expensive. And I want to, that's the whole reason why I have this channel, is because I want to cover a lot of different areas that are not Seattle entirely, because a lot of the times it gets all, just people forget about the little areas. Personally, I'm from the Olympia area, and, no one knows where that is. But I want to show you something that'll help you. So if you go to victorashley.com, you could type in any of your little areas, your address, or even just your city. And let's do one right now. Let's just go down into Olympia. In Olympia, what it comes out with is it'll pull up all of your available homes for sale, business opportunities, rentals, and all that. And you can actually see automatically what your house is worth. And this is a reason why I do this, is so you can have a general idea of what it's like in your area as well as your home, because this is very important to me, and it's very important to the people that live in your area, and it can be important to you also. As always, it was a pleasure working with you today, and I hope you have a fantastic day.